JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 6th of October 2020. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Tuesday's afternoon session where we're going to have a quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yep, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. Now, so, jumping into the charts, now a quick update on what's happening here with the German index, the DAX, and here, as you can see, it opened today with a gap to the upside. Then it declined a little bit, probably took out a lot of traders who were bullish already and with tight stop losses, and you can see that this is where it kind of pushed higher again. So basically, long story short, what I was saying previously, that wait for that confirmation break above this 12,873 territory, and then we could consider a further move higher. As you can see, the break happened. Yep, the initial decline came. The initial decline was here. It wasn't that the index was above it already, so the decline came before it actually broke up here to the upside. So that's why this is where I always say, guys, stay safe, be very careful, and wait for that confirmation break. So as you can see here, the ones who were patient probably are enjoying right now this move, and yep, the price is pushing higher. My next target is around that psychological 13,000 zone. If we reach that, then I'll take it from there. I'll reevaluate everything again, and yep, I'll pick up on this one later. But for now, everything seems to be working out nicely. Of course, don't get me wrong, let's see if this index will remain above this barrier, above this 12,873 territory today. It seems that it could do, but again, let's wait and see. But for now, guys, the index already popped, so don't try to kind of jump in on it right now, because again, wait for maybe for a bit of a retracement or something like that, and then we could aim for a further move higher. But at the moment, like I said, my target is around the 13,000 territory, but probably it might retrace a little bit lower before actually going towards that area. If you're comfortable enough to have your stop loss somewhere, for example, near this level, near this 12,873, and then target this 13,000 zone, then yep, you could do. But to be honest, it's kind of really a bit of a bad risk reward ratio. So that's why be very careful for now, guys. Probably wait to see how this daily candle is gonna end up being today, and then I'll pick up on this one tomorrow, where I will reevaluate everything again. Now jumping into S&P 500. Now yesterday we had a fantastic move higher here, and the index kind of had a nice push north, but didn't really reach this barrier, this 3,425 zone. But the most important is that the index popped above this the high of the 1st of October, and the high of last week, and this kind of which was a 3,397, which kind of opened the door towards higher levels. Now, if we look at the cash index, where it's currently balancing at, you can see that the price is roughly around the same spot, to be honest, and it's somewhere around this 3,408.9 zone where it actually closed yesterday. So in a way, still there's a chance for this one to move towards this 3,425 territory, which, as you can see, acted as a fantastic area of resistance back here in around mid-September. So if that gets broken, now of course the next target here could be that 3,479 zone marked by the high of the 4th of September. But of course, for now, let's keep it short and simple. Like I said, at the moment the cash index is sitting in the same, around the same area where it closed yesterday. So in a way, it still has a good chance to move towards this 3,425 zone. In case this suddenly starts dropping back below the 3,397 territory right here, well, I'll probably take a bit of a cautious approach, probably maybe a neutral approach, because in order to kind of maybe, let's say, consider maybe the downside again or slightly lower levels, ideally I would prefer to see a drop below the 3,329 zone right here, which, as you can see, acted as a fantastic area of support recently. So that's why for now, if in a way the idea is still the main idea is still to the upside, and the downside is could I would say come after this, after a break below the 3,329 zone right here, and then of course I'll pick up on that one if it does that. But again, for now, everything seems to be looking quite positive for this index. Now jumping into another index, the dollar index, and this is what I talked about this morning, and basically what I was saying, that in order to kind of aim for further declines, wait for that low. At that point, it was the low of that day, the 93.35 of this day, but now, as you can see, it kind of started shifting. So what I can do here is keep an eye on the yesterday's low, and if we see the daily candle remaining below this area, below the 93.37 zone, which is the low of yesterday, then yes, of course, this kind of increases the chances for a possible further move south, to initially aiming towards the 92.79 zone. But again, for now, it's a bit of a tricky one. Dollar is not really moving much, so that's why for now I'm waiting for this one to make a kind of a better move here, a stronger move to the downside. If it doesn't do that, if this area continues to provide support, then of course we may see a bit of a rebound, maybe tomorrow, going back towards this 93.81 zone, or this downside resistance line taken from the high of the 23rd of March. Excuse me. So again, keep your eyes on this one. Could be quite interesting, but we need to wait. That's why I'm looking at gold, and the gold is also not very exciting. I mean, of course, the bulls are trying to push this one higher. They're testing this downside line taken from the high of the 7th of August, but at the moment it seems that the bulls are struggling with that downside line, and let's see how this is going to play out. Of course, a lot will also depend on the DXY, how it's going to play its game, but at the moment it seems that yes, gold looks like it wants to have a move higher, but currently struggling with these two downside lines, and mainly with this one taken from the high of the 7th of August. If it continues to provide resistance, well, another round of selling here could be possible. Basically, this idea that I talked about previously, this curve could work out. For now, it's just working out half of it. Only half of it is just working out right now. WTI oil, look at the beautiful bounce here that we're having in oil, and basically previously when I talked about WTI oil, I was saying that if this rebounds and makes its way higher, keep your eyes on the 38.74 territory, because if it struggles to overcome it, then we could see another round of selling. But as you can see, we had a beautiful jump above it, a strong close of the daily candle above this area, and today we're seeing that happened yesterday, and today we're having this continuation move further north. Now my next target is around this 200-day EMA, which is roughly around the 41 zone. We still have a few pips left here to move towards that area. I mean, the commodity could just touch it, and let's see how this this 200-day EMA will play out, because why I'm focusing on this one, as you can see here, for example, around mid-September, although we did have a few overshoots here, neither of the daily candles was able to close above it. So yes, it did reach this level here, which I'm also keeping an eye on, this 41.46 zone, but yep, it pushed above this 200-day EMA, but still closed below it. So that's why for now, be very careful here. Yes, I am aiming for a further move higher, but I will be very careful near this 200-day EMA. So let's see how all this is going to play out. If the acceleration continues and the price jumps over this 41.46 territory, now this is where it could become even more interesting for more buyers. Ethereum is declining here a little bit. Again, found some resistance near this 21-day EMA. As you can see so far, it's kind of acting as a good area of resistance. Let's see if this 100-day EMA, shown as the green line, will act as a good area of support, because as you can see, recently it kind of did that, apart from just this little hiccup here that we had on the 23rd and 24th of September. But for example, on the 2nd of October, it did act as a good support. So in a way, what I'm aiming here for is a possible test of this 100-day EMA again, which, if fails to provide support and breaks, then yep, the next target here could be this upside support line taken from the low of the 13th of March. Jumping into a few pairs, AUD, NZD, and I have looked at this one recently, and what I was saying, guys, to you, that quite happy about this one, to be honest. I mean, this downside line taken from the high of the 21st of August continues to provide resistance. As you can see, last week we did have a test of this one. It failed to move further above it. It did have a little false breakout right here, as you can see, and then kind of shifted back down. Today we've had another test of this area near this downside line, and yep, as you can see now, the pair is pushing further south again. However, it's currently getting a hold up near this 100-day EMA. So what I was saying to you guys previously, that if this downside line continues to provide resistance, for us to maybe get a little bit more excited about lower levels, a nice good drop, strong drop below this 1.0771 territory right here might be a good signal here for further decline. So basically, if we're going to get a nice drop below this and a further move below this 100-day EMA, then yes, keep your eyes on at this lowest point of September near the 1.0718 level, and then of course we'll take it from there. For now, it's flirting with this area right here. Let's see if this pair can continue pushing further south. A USDCHF here, the pair is pushing south. Yesterday dropped below this 0.9163 territory. I talked about this one when I was covering USDCHF recently, and look at also this beautiful move here on the RSI. I mean, it broke this upside line, so now it's kind of shows willingness to move further south. My next target here will be near this 0.9073 territory, which, as you can see, act as a very nice area of resistance recently. I mean, with a few breaks here, but nevertheless, kind of the pair did respect that area. And if we go back into history here, scroll back all the way towards this, you can see back to 2015. You can see that that's the lowest point of May of 2015. So yep, again, that's going to be my target for now, especially if the rate continues to balance, or should I say, to trade below this 0.9163. If the rate reverses and pushes above it, then yep, I'll skip this target of the 0.9073, and then I'll probably take a bit of a neutral stand, because in order to get maybe a little bit more excited about with the upside again, a push back above this territory right here would be needed. So basically, a push back above the 0.9218 territory right here could do the trick for more buyers. Euro GBP, haven't looked at this one for quite a while, as you can see by my shifted arrows here. So let me just clear up the chart, and most important here is basically the pair overall, it's still trading above its 200-day EMA, not to mention the also the 100-day EMA, so that's also a good sign. It kind of continues to oscillate around this 21-day EMA, so I'm not gonna be focusing on it too much for now. What I'm gonna be looking at here is overall it seems that the trend is still to the upside. Now, after a nice, good, strong rally here we saw in the beginning of September, when the pair reached this area right here, the 0.9292 zone, it kind of drifted back down. However, now this move lower, we can actually potentially, we could see it as a possible falling wedge pattern. Now, let me just grab this one on the chart, and of course it's not an ideal one, to be honest. I mean, it is a little bit of a difficult one, I would say. Not a clear falling wedge, but let's see if this idea works out, because according to all the TD rules, these patterns tend to be bullish, and we could see a nice pop higher. However, we cannot really talk about the upside yet until we get a break of this upper side of this falling wedge. So let's see how all this is going to play out. As long as the trading is still in this pattern, we're going to remain neutral, but if we get a violation of the upper side here, then this is where the whole excitement could come, and especially for the bulls. And finally, Euro USD. So this one is pushing nicely to the upside. This morning I told you about this level here, the 1.1797, or the we could round it up towards the 1.18 zone. As you can see, the pair is pushing above this area right now, or at least trying to push it above this area. Let's see if the daily candle can remain above this barrier. If it cannot, then, well, I mean, still there is a bit of a tricky. It is still tricky. It could be tricky. But if we get a nice push above, then yes, of course, further move higher is possible. And the next target here could be that 1.1917 zone marked by the high of the 10th of September. But to be honest, I'll reevaluate this again, maybe tomorrow, and let's see tomorrow in my Trader's Espresso. Let's see how and where this daily candle is going to end up being today. If it's going to stay above this 1.1797 zone, then yes, we'll aim for further move north. So yeah, again, for now it seems that the bulls are really trying hard to drive this one further north. Let's see if they will be successful in that. If by any chance this pair suddenly sharply reverses back down and drops back below this downside line, now this is where the upside could be slightly off the table. Now guys, I really hope you found it useful, and thank you very much for watching and listening, and staying till the end, guys. I can see there's a comment here which I didn't see earlier, Kirsten, from so hello Kirsten to you too. But guys, yeah, I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much for watching and listening. If you want to catch my video tomorrow morning, as always, my Trader's Espresso, that's 6 o'clock GMT time. There we go, 6 o'clock GMT time. But for now, guys, I hope you have a wonderful evening. Stay safe, and I'll see you later. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.